Welcome to a brief advanced seminar of the Faculty Podcast. I am Dr. Helios Voss. Today we address postmodernism in astrology, not as a fashionable add-on, but as a necessary critical pressure on our tradition. How do we retain technical rigor while refusing naive claims of objective cosmic truth? Professor Luna Astara, Dr. Orion Quill, Dr. Celeste Ria, and Professor Kepler Sol join me. Orion, open the critical position.
Postmodern astrology begins with a simple refusal. The chart is not a transparent map of fate. It is a text produced inside history, language, and power. Every technique, perfections, zodiacal releasing, essential dignities, carries the assumptions of the culture that refined it. When we treat Hellenistic methods as pure discovery rather than as sophisticated interpretive practices, we repeat the error of every tradition that naturalizes its own tools. The postmodern contribution is not to abandon calculation, but to stop granting any single historical layer ontological privilege.
I accept the warning against naivety, yet I resist the slide into pure constructivism. The ancient techniques persist because they continue to organize experience with unusual coherence and, in many cases, predictive traction. Zodiacal releasing does not merely generate comforting stories, it repeatedly times major shifts in the native sense of purpose and career. A postmodern stance that cannot account for this repeated phenomenological and empirical efficiency has amputated half the data. Critique must sharpen the instrument, not dissolve it.
The productive middle is reflexivity. We calculate with full classical rigor, then interpret with explicit awareness that every meaning we offer is situated by the astrologer's culture, by the client's social location, by the historical moment. Evolutionary and psychological approaches already moved in this direction by treating the chart as a living dialogue rather than a fixed sentence. Postmodern thought simply makes the epistemological humility mandatory rather than optional. Technique without reflexivity becomes dogma. Reflexivity without technique becomes vague spiritual conversation.
From the empirical side, the data itself supports a tempered postmodern view. Inter-rater reliability among traditional practitioners drops once we leave textbook examples. Different astrologers using the same ancient techniques often produce divergent narratives for the same chart. This does not prove the techniques are empty, it proves that interpretation is underdetermined by the symbolism alone. The most honest advanced practice therefore pairs precise calculation with transparent acknowledgement of the interpretive labor involved.
Exactly. The danger is not the use of ancient methods. The danger is the unexamined authority claim that accompanies them. When an astrologer says, the chart shows, rather than within this tradition and my reading, the chart can be understood as the language itself performs a power move. Postmodern astrology insists on the second formulation. It does not make the work less powerful, it makes the power visible and therefore accountable.
Then the curriculum implication is clear. Students must master the classical engines, house systems, time lords, lots, primary directions until the calculations are fluent. Simultaneously, they must study the critiques of truth, authorship, and universality that postmodern, feminist, and postcolonial thought provide. The goal is a practitioner who can move between technical precision and critical distance without collapsing into either rigid reconstruction or soft relativism.
In the consulting room, this produces a different ethic. We still offer timing and structural insight, we simply refuse to present those insights as the voice of the cosmos itself. The client is invited into a collaborative reading rather than a pronouncement. Paradoxically, many clients find this more empowering, not less. The chart remains a profound mirror, it is no longer an unchallengeable verdict.
A concise synthesis. Advanced astrology in a postmodern condition requires three simultaneous commitments: rigorous technical competence in the received tradition, continuous empirical and phenomenological testing of that tradition, and explicit reflexivity about the historical and power laden nature of every interpretive act. We keep the engines. We stop pretending the engines run outside of culture. That is the brief faculty position. Thank you, colleagues. This seminar is closed.